All right, welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. Today we're going to do some strength and we're going to do what's called supersetting. It sounds kind of weird because I think it should be like alternate setting or something. But supersetting means that you go back and forth between opposite muscle groups. So we do a row, for instance, and then we do a chest press. So let's go ahead and get started here. Go and warm up. Make sure my focus is really good. Make sure nothing's in the way. Yes, go ahead and just warm up. You can stand or sit for your warm up. It doesn't matter either way. Whatever you like to do. Rotate. So yeah, we do have classes going on at the club, my club here in Portland. They are a little bit more intense, but that's the way we want to keep it. More like a Monday class, a little bit more intense. Push across. Today is just kind of an easygoing strength training day. So this is a good class because you'll learn which muscles are opposing muscles to each other. So for instance, the biceps, does anybody know what the opposing muscle is for the bicep? Reach up and over. It's the tricep. And press down, heel touch. So you'll learn that sort of stuff too. That kind of helps remember muscles more. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into some things. Get your band out. We're going to go behind the back, underneath the arms. Remember, you want to kind of grab and then pinch and grab a little higher there. Pressing out and together. Good, do about 5 or 6 more. Notice I'm breathing out as I press out, coming together and then opening up. Good posture. 2 more. So that's the chest muscles. What's the group that opposes the chest? It's going to be the back muscles. So let's go ahead and put the band underneath the feet. So you put it in that, most everybody knows it's on here, but you put it between the crook of your shoe if you have one. Put both feet there and then cross the handles so that you're grabbing with the opposite hands and pull it straight back. Bring your elbows back. So the idea of supersetting is that you don't have to rest. We're actually resting our chest muscles, or that's at least one idea. We're resting our chest muscles while we're doing our back muscles. We can go a little slower here. Don't want to get too in a hurry. So working the back muscles, letting those chest muscles rest, and even kind of for our sake, stretching them a little bit. Stretching the opposing muscles that you just worked. About 5 more. Good, all right. So let's go back to the chest press. No resting, it'll keep your heart rate up too. It also makes the workout go by a little faster. Go ahead and grab on and choke up. And pressing out. About 15 of these. Remember, you can always really increase your intensity by reaching back more. Working that chest a little bit more. Last 2. That's about 15. Good, no rest. The only thing about this is you gotta go back and forth, but that's kind of good. It's good to move around more. Go back and forth between the exercises, and some people hate it when they get set and they finally get to doing it and then they gotta switch it up. I suppose you could pause the video if you're watching the recording. But we're going back to that row. Make sure it's all set. Don't let anything hit you in the face. Cross the bands. You could always pause in the back part. That'll work it more. Also, if you want, you could grab up higher. Really working it on that band. Excellent. All right, good. So let's go on to something else. We'll go to triceps. So over the shoulder. So triceps is the back of the arm here. Pressing straight down. It allows you to extend the arm forward. So you can see as I push out, it's contracting the muscle to pull my hand down. So it helps to push straight down. Exhale down, inhale up. About 5 more. Excellent. Then we go to the other side. Over the shoulder. And pressing straight down. Working the triceps here. Now, the one thing you don't want to do is let that elbow come up, because that really isn't working the same muscle. You start working the shoulder, just that tricep. So I'm really just moving at the elbow. You got 2 more. Excellent. All right, so that's triceps. What goes with triceps, remember? Biceps. So let's go ahead and stand up for this one. You can do it seated too. You're just going to put the band underneath your foot. But the thing is, make sure you have it right under there. Really good. And then you can change your intensity here based on where your band is at. So this is a pretty hard band. The blue's a little harder than some of them. So it goes, just to remember your color, it goes green, well, yellow and then green, and then red, and then blue is the next step up. And then there's purple. So anyway, my point was, though, that I can make it easier by really putting more band over here on this side. Keep your posture. So letting those triceps relax as we work the biceps. Give me about 4 more of those. Doesn't always take as many. Those biceps get tired easier sometimes. Other side. Usually you can push more than you can pull up. So let's go ahead and get situated. Get that band under there. Don't let it flip out and hit you in the face. I got insurance, but I don't want to have to use it, you know. There we go. Keep the back nice and straight. Excellent, looking great. You start to feel it around here. Maybe about 5 more of them. Excellent. All right. Let's go ahead and change up to the weights real quick. Hopefully you got those handy. We are going to do triceps with the weights. So tricep kickbacks. So that's where you're just going to lean forward, hands at the hips, and then kick back. Show you from the side. Keeping those elbows steady again, just like the bicep curls. You don't move the elbows. And just like the triceps that we did with the bands. Try to keep the head in line with the spine. And you can go even slower than this. I'm exhaling as I kick back. Do about 5 more. So that's 2 sets of triceps, one with the band and one with the weights. Let's go ahead and move on. We're going to do bicep curls. And while we do this, raise one leg up, work your core a little bit, the side to side. So triceps and biceps go together. Opposing muscle groups. Give me 2 more of these. And then we'll just switch legs. Good. Stick with those biceps, other leg up. 6 more. One more. Excellent. All right. Good. Let's just march it out. Give yourself a whole rest there up on your upper body. So what goes with the quadriceps? What would the opposing muscle group be for the quadriceps? Think about it. Play a little Jeopardy here. Excellent. So the quadricep muscles are in the front, and we'll go ahead and set those weights down for now. We're going to do these without equipment. The quadriceps are in the front, and the opposing muscle group would be the hamstring muscles. So we're going to go ahead and just sit back a little so you can see more. But you want to extend that leg up and just raise it up and down. Keep it nice and tight. Really working those quadricep muscles. So not only are we supersetting today, but we're also working the 5 or 7 main exercises that you always want to work. If you get a little pain in here or a bother, you can always relax. Give me about 4 more. You want to do about 15 to 20. All right, other side. So you start kind of parallel here with your legs, and then just about an inch or 2 up. Not a big one, or else you start really working your hip too much, and then it becomes a pain again. Good posture. Make them little, just nice and easy. Excellent. All right, march it out a little bit. That was the quadriceps. Let's go ahead and stand up for the hamstring muscles. You could sit and just pull your leg back, seated if that's what you want to do, but this isn't too hard really. So you get situated there. Get my ball out of the way. And let's do with the same leg over and over. I'll start with this one here. So what you're going to do is you can almost touch and just go up and down. A little pulsing. Keep good posture. Working the back of the leg this time. Letting the front of the legs rest. That's the superset. What I think should be like an alternate set or something like that. But it's super. Keep going, about 5 more. Excellent. And then we'll just switch legs. Pulling it up, almost touching. Good posture. Give me about 4 more. Okay, good. So I'm just going to face this way now, and I'm just going to work the front here. But we're not going to touch or swing. We need to really work our quadricep muscles. So showing you from the side, it's almost like that leg lift, but you can go a little bit higher now. Thing is to pull those toes back. Pull those toes back, tightening this quadricep muscle. Find a comfortable spot for that. You know, everybody's a little different. It might be down here. I'm a little more flexible so I can get a little higher. But you can start to feel it after a while, working your knees and your muscles and your quads. That's short for quadriceps. Just sounds cool, you know. All right, other side of the quads. Here we go. Just lifting. You don't have to hold on. You can work your balance, but I like to focus on that muscle a little more. We don't always work this way, so you might feel these muscles tomorrow. A little different. And relax. Good. No rest for that. We don't need to. We're going to go right into the superset hamstring curls. Back to this one. Almost touching, but not quite. That'll work your back muscles too. Keep the back straight. I do little exhales. Don't worry about inhaling, just exhale. You'll inhale naturally. All right, other side. So if you wanted to work the legs, you could do these a little more on your own. It's a great little routine for the leg muscles there. You can see you're getting a little perspiry, you know, heart rate's getting up a little, not resting. About 5 more. And relax. Good. All right, let's go around and around with the knees. Just kind of loosen it all up. Another direction. All right, we're going to move on to abs. So we're going to do some abdominal exercises here. Now, let's go ahead and get a couple weights out. We'll start with that one. You can sit all the way forward, have the weights crossed, and just sit back and then sit forward. Or you could sit to the side if you're not worried about falling back. Don't want anybody to hurt themselves. So while we're doing this, what is the opposing muscle group to the abdominal muscles? The rectus abdominis, this one here. So it's the lower back. Lower back is going to be your opposing muscle group to your abdominal muscles. So you're relaxing your lower back right now, actually. Just focus on the front. Pull up from the front. Do about 5 more. Excellent. Back to center. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into that opposing muscle group. What we're going to do is we're going to get the ball out and put it at your upper back. So I'm talking like shoulder blades. Put it up against the chair. All right, and then we're gonna go right back, working the back now, the lower back, relaxing your abdominals, and stretching the front at the same time. So the good thing about this is you get a good stretch on the opposing muscle group as well. Keep going, we'll do about 8 more. And I'm exhaling, kind of exhale all the way out and then relax. Take a deep breath in, exhale back, hold it a little bit, inhale. You could go even slower, slowing down your breath. Last 2. You can feel that in your lower back after a while. Excellent. All right. So let's take the ball and put it in our lower back. This is your abdominals again. So you're resting your back, working your abdominals. Also stretching the front when you go back. Get a good stretch here. Inhale, exhale. Nice long inhale is good too. Typically inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. But you can do it however you like. Got about 10 more of these. And about 4 more. So then we go back to that opposing muscle group, the lower back. We're just going to take the ball back up again and pressing back, opening and closing. So of the 5 or 6, 7 muscle groups that you want to work, one day we'll narrow it down to probably 7, I would say. But you have your chest, your back, your upper legs, your lower legs, and your abdominals. Those are the main ones. And then you have your biceps and triceps. And so the core rotations and all that would be included with abdominals. Do about 6 or 7 more of those. But it's just good to get an idea of the muscle groups you're working, and there's only about 5 to 7 main ones that you want to always make sure to work. You can hold it a little more, exhale. We'll do a few like that, and relax. You can even pause your video on this one and keep doing this because it just feels so good sometimes to open up and relax. And it's good to coordinate with your breath. Okay, good. So let's go on to the lower part of the legs. First, we'll do a seated one. I'm going to have to turn and show you better here. Get my weights out of the way and all. So what I want to do first is just raise the toes. Sit here and raise the toes. Hold it for about 1 or 2 seconds, and then relax. And that will stretch the back of the legs a little bit. But the calf muscles also work, or the lower leg muscles, which are the calf muscles. There's two main calf muscles, the gastrocnemius and the soleus. And one is for standing and raising your heels up, and the other one is for seated and raising your heels up. So the stretch for one muscle when we raise our toes up would be different if we're standing or legs straight. So you stretch a different muscle in the back of the leg based on whether you're seated or standing. But you're also working those shin muscles. If you've ever had shin splints, this is one way to kind of work those muscles. Then you can go out hiking or whatever you do that causes that, and you won't get it as much. All right, so we're gonna let those muscles rest, and we're just gonna go up to the heels. Now, if you want, you can grab your weights. We're gonna go up with the heels. So you can grab your weights too. And this is just a seated calf raise. So it's actually different when you raise your heels seated versus standing. It's different muscles. But what you want to do on the seated is really hold it, unless you got really heavy weights on here. But it takes a little more weight or takes a little more holding and maybe more repetition. So let's do about 10, 15 of these more. I'm exhaling up. So now you'll start to feel it in those calves. Try to see where you feel it at. Maybe you'll feel it different when we stand up. Excellent. So let's go ahead and put the weights down for now. And I'm going to extend my legs out like this. All right. And what I'm going to do is just pull my toes back. You could do this standing, but I just didn't want to worry about everybody focusing on balance at the same time. But all you need to do is have your legs straight and then pull those toes back. Working the front of the lower part of the legs, that's your focus. And it's going to stretch those calf muscles maybe a little bit differently now. 10 more. Excellent. Give it one more hold for about 10 seconds. And relax. So if you get leg cramps down in here, you could maybe do those exercises a little bit more, and that'd be helpful. Let's go ahead and stand up. You can grab your weights too if you want to. Weights or no weights, we're going to do calf raises standing now. Remember, I told you it's a little different muscles. See if you can feel it in a different area of your lower part of your legs. Exhale up, inhale down. I feel a little more upper calves for me when I'm standing, a little more lower calves when I was seated. And relax. All right, good. Let's go ahead and stretch out. Make sure we got enough time here. We're gonna just let's start with this one since we're standing. Let's stretch our calves out. There we go. Pushing into the heel, bending the front leg, straightening the back leg. So now we'll just stretch out these muscle groups too. Start with the lower part of the legs. Other side. Just focus on a couple deep breaths for each of these. Inhale for 5 or 6 seconds, then exhale, same amount of time. Good. Now, if you wanted to stretch the opposite muscle, the instep would be the way to go. That'd be the opposite of the calves. So what you do is just put your toe down and then kind of lean into it a little bit, bending the other leg. Good. Try the other side. Don't need to hold that too long. Good. And then we've got our triceps. The other side. And then this is how you stretch the biceps. You pull your fingers down, push out, and then pull the arms back. You should feel that kind of more in your bicep here. And then we're going to do a torso rotation, holding, and other side. And then we're going to stretch the back. We're going to curve the back by bending the knees like a cat. Just hold there. Take some deep breaths in your back. And then we'll stretch the chest by lifting. Chest and stomach muscles stretching. Inhale deep. And then we go to downward dog. That'll stretch your legs out and the back of the legs. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and sit down for a second. We got a couple more to do. We're going to do the one leg back. I'm going to push it back. This is where you could work your instep too, with the instep down, reaching up with the same hand as the foot that's back, stretching mostly your quadriceps here by just leaning back slightly. A little hip flexor stretch too. Deep breath in the belly. And then we'll switch sides. Reaching up. One more breath. And relax. Let's come back to center. We're going to grab onto the side of the chair and stretch the neck out, and neck and shoulders. And other side. Good. Let's just take a couple deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Good. So I guess you could narrow it down to 7 basic areas. Let's just review what those would be. You've got your chest, your back, your abs, that's 3. Abs and back, we'll say core. And then you got your upper legs, that's 4. Your lower legs, that's 5. And then you've got your biceps up and triceps, we'll call that the upper arms, that's 6. And then your shoulders, and that would be 7. So I think that would be a way to kind of think about it. Anyway, I hope you had fun. I certainly did.